Mental health for migration. Youth is a time of learning. Hi, I am doctor and psychotherapist Valentina Orosa. In this video, 4 young people will share their own experiences on adjusting to a new country and living in 2 cultures. You will hear what things have an impact on a young person's well-being. What kind of possibilities are there for young people in Finland? When we are young, we build our own identity, who we are and what do we want to do in our lives. Moving to a new country brings more challenges into this. There is a new language to be learned, new customs to be adopted, and new friends to be found. Euclides, who came from Angola to Finland as a child, noticed that life is very different here. Let us now get to know about his early times in the new country. I moved to Finland when I was 11 years old, and I moved from Angola to Finland. If I had to compare childhood in Angola to the one in Finland, it is very, very different. I feel that in Finland, it is much easier to live a safe life as a child. You don't need to worry about tomorrow. If I think about it now as an adult, yes, we did live quite a dangerous life for children. In Finland, we don't need to, you get to sleep like a child without having to worry about tomorrow. You always wake up to everything being fine, and there's no deep, heavy feeling that what will happen from now on. When you come here and you have lived a completely different kind of life, where you have not been able to even imagine yourself, say, studying, and then it's possible here. It is possible to do things here and improve yourself. As Euclides told us, in Finland there are many worthy opportunities for a young person. When people are young, they are required to make many big decisions, for instance about studies and work. One can start searching for one's own place in the world according to one's own interests. What would you like to do? What are you good at? And what skills do you possess? Remember that you have time to try out different things in peace. You can, for example, try out different hobbies and learn new skills from them. Sometimes it may already be clear for the youth what their dream is. Rand, who dreams of becoming a doctor, moved first from Syria to Mauritania and then to Finland. She had to experience setbacks in her studies. As a child, I saw how my father, who also is a doctor, helped people. He was a hero in my eyes, and I wanted to be like him. And since I was very small, this dream has lived in me. We escaped Syria in 2014 to another country, where I graduated from upper secondary school, but when I came here I had to study through upper secondary school again. I was so disappointed as I was so near that dream of getting admitted to study to become a doctor where I was. I felt like my life was going to end there, and what will I do now? Shall I stay at home? Since I didn't want to study anything else. But then this disappointment somehow transformed into power and persistence. And I decided that I will learn this language and that I will move on ahead and I will do whatever it takes to achieve this dream. And then I studied the language for some 5 months and then I was admitted to upper secondary school. I graduated in 2 years and then I applied for medical school, and in fact, while preparing for the admission exams, I suffered from a kind of prolonged stress. I think I wasn't enjoying life. I just studied. Now I am a student at the Faculty of Medicine at University of Helsinki. I got admitted this spring. I have now somehow kind of achieved maybe the most important dream of my life. Rand was admirably persistent and continued pursuing her dream despite the disappointment and hardships. As she said, working hard towards one's goals can heavily strain one's mental health. Adapting to a new culture also demands a lot of work. It causes stress and puts a strain on mental health. Therefore, it's also important to remember to rest and relax. During the years of adolescence, one often feels pressure and uncertainty. Sometimes you may feel as an outsider. Especially many living in two cultures may think, where do I belong to? Or do I belong anywhere? Mira, who was born in Finland, has a Lebanese mother and a Palestinian father. Let's listen to how Mira and Euclides, we met earlier, have found their own identity and ways to live with many cultures. As a teenager, I felt a lot like I was an outsider. I felt that at home I was asked for different things than what was asked at school. It was very confusing and stressful, and it affected my mental health quite strongly. I felt anxious about not belonging in either. I felt anxious about, for example, in Lebanon, having different ways of behavior and things than in Finland, and I felt like I just didn't belong to that group. I was actually able to move forward from that in upper secondary school. I contacted the student counselor and we went through both private matters, exactly those things that have to do with identity and school issues. The fact that I sought help from the student counselor was perhaps the best decision I have made in upper secondary school. I think it was great that I got help from outside. Actually, it clarified my thoughts very much. I didn't actually want to be completely Finnish or Lebanese. I took the nice bits from both, and I proudly carry with me that I was born in Finland, and I am proud that my parents originally come from Lebanon and Palestine. That I have grown up in between two cultures, and that I have both Finnish and Arabic traits. I am both. I am both. I like and appreciate very much what I have been able to experience growing up in Angola and what I have seen in the cultural sense. And I really appreciate everything that I have learned in Finland. It was here that I grew up to be an adult. I would not put either in a box. I would say that I am who I am, Finnish and Angolan. Self-awareness and appreciating your own roots brings strength and power. Sometimes you may face situations where you need support. These include challenges at school or home, racism or discrimination. Sometimes life can be hard due to sudden changes in the circumstances or due to losses. Next, let's listen to Qurushi, who is originally from Afghanistan, and his story about what helped him to overcome difficult times and experiences. Right after we came to Finland, my father got cancer. It was really difficult. It was the hardest time it could be. And he passed away from it. Clearly, this is the kind of a difficult thing that I don't like to, well, not everybody would want to talk about this, or even they would not talk about it. When I was 13, coming to a new land, I had difficulty in communicating with other people and finding good Finnish friends, close Finnish friends. But one day I went to the boxing hall with this one guy. And after that, I started, or kind of, I fell in love with boxing. It took those, well, firstly, I was able to discharge my energy and get some peace of mind and sweep my mind away from other matters. It gave some meaning to life. I had a goal. I wanted to succeed in it. I wanted to have a purpose. And while I was boxing, I met my great coach, my first coach, who really took care of me. And I spent quite a lot of time with him. We would talk about life and men and how we should respect people and so on. Just like a grandfather and his grandson. What I learned is that a man says, a man does, and a man is responsible for what he does. That's always on my mind. I got a lot of pals and we're still friends, although I have friends I've boxed with. We'd have matches and after them we'd put our hands together and just become great friends. We train together and such. I think having a hobby is really great. Kurushi got support from his coach. You may be thinking who the kind of trustworthy person you yourself could share your thoughts and feelings with could be. Talking to a friend, to your siblings, or parents often helps. You can also tell your teacher, nurse, or therapist about your worries. Consider who could be that trustworthy person in whom you could confide with your thoughts and emotions. Now we have gone through some important things related to the life of a young person. See also our other videos on mind, well-being and adjusting to Finland. Thank you and see you again.